If you looked at my life a year ago, nothing looked wrong. I was working, paying bills, keeping up, but deep down, I felt like I just wasn't moving forward. So instead of chasing some big overnight change, I tried something different. I started experimenting with tiny daily habits. And here's what surprised me: those little shifts, the ones that seemed almost too small to matter, completely transformed how I save, how I invest, and even how I feel day to day. The truth is, the things that make you richer and more confident aren't big, complicated moves. They are tiny habits stacked together. And today in this video, I'm going to show you the ones that actually changed my life and how you can apply them to your life too. Who am I? If you're new to my channel, I am a consumer reporter. I've been doing this for more than 30 years, and I've learned a thing or two along my way. So let's get started. Good habit number one: trade entertainment for wealth building knowledge. For years, my evenings looked the same. I'd come home from work, eat dinner, pour a glass of wine, and then spend the next 2 hours glued to Netflix. My 2-hour round trip commute into DC, always filled with true crime podcasts. Super entertaining for sure, but life-changing, not even close. About a year ago, I made the shift. I'd started shutting off TV about an hour earlier and started reading books about how to make more money, risk-taking, and just how to succeed in life. On my commute, I swapped true crime for podcasts that actually taught me something useful. And that one simple change sparked something big. It inspired me to start this YouTube channel. You can do this too. Replace just one piece of entertainment each day with something that feeds your future. Do that for a year and you'll have hundreds of hours of knowledge reshaping your money mindset. Good habit number two: learn one new skill that saves you money. So one of my best skills that I picked up this past year was learning how to cook better. Here's the shift. Instead of defaulting to takeout when I was tired, I started following simple recipes and experimenting with healthier meals at home. At first, it kind of felt like a chore, I admit it, but now it's something that I actually look forward to. We used to go out every single Saturday night for dinner, a cocktail or two, a glass of wine, and the bills easily hit $100 or more. Dining out costs the average US household over $3,200 a year. That's more than $250 every single month. By shifting that habit, we are saving hundreds of dollars eating healthier, and we're having fun with this. Now, Saturday nights are still special, but I make dinner at home, so I may splurge on a couple of pieces of swordfish or a high-quality cut of meat. It might cost me $35 a pound, but when you compare it with one restaurant meal would cost, it's still a huge savings, and it feels personal because we're together as a family at home. Habit number three: automate your investing. So the day after payday, money moves automatically into my retirement and my investment accounts. I don't think about it and I don't even miss it because I don't see it. Why this works: it takes willpower out of the equation, which is honestly the best secret. You pay yourself first, and the money grows quietly in the background, and you are less likely to do impulse buying. Action step for you: even if it's just $25 a week, set up an automatic transfer. It's not about the amount. It's about building the habit that compounds over time. Number four: this has been a great habit that I am so glad that I'm now doing. I pack a lunch. So I added up what I was spending in 1 week when I wasn't taking my lunch to work. On average, I would spend $10 to $12 a day on lunch. On top of that, I'd also go grab a Starbucks in the afternoon. That's $6.70 a day. So if you do the math, $334 a month. The moment I added it up and saw that in black and white, and I found out how much that cost me, that's when I decided to make that change. By making that one small step has literally saved me hundreds of dollars every single month. That is money I now can put towards savings and investing. This is literally about making your life easier, not harder. And the more you do this, the more it becomes literally second nature. Good habit number five: the 24-hour shopping pause. So I'll be honest, this one used to get me all the time. I'd be scrolling late at night, see something on Amazon or somewhere else on social media, and before I could even think, click, it was mine. If I added up how much money I lost to impulse purchases over the years, let's just say I'd actually rather not add those up. But that's okay. That's behind me. Now I have a simple rule. I wait 24 hours before I buy anything. And you know what? 9 times out of 10, the next day, I don't even want it anymore. Surveys actually show that impulse purchases account for up to 40% of consumer spending. 40%, that's crazy. That means almost half of what we buy is driven by emotion, not need. Giving yourself just one day's pause allows your logic to catch up with your feelings. And here's the bonus. Sometimes retailers notice your abandoned cart and they send you a discount code just to nudge you into checking out. So not only do you cut emotional spending out of the equation, you might even save extra on the rare times you do decide to buy. Next habit, stop spending to impress others. For years, I caught myself falling into that same trap. If I had brunch plans with friends, I'd think, oh gosh, I need a new mani-pedi, a new pair of shoes, maybe even a new cute outfit. If people were coming over, I suddenly needed to refresh the flowers, throw pillows on my couches, or some last-minute Target run to spruce things up. But here's the reality. When I go to someone else's home, I'm not studying their walls or noticing if their manicure is chipped. I couldn't tell you what color their curtains are or whether their shoes were brand new. I'm there for the conversation, the connection, the experience, and chances are they're not studying me either. Here's the shift. I stopped spending money to impress people who weren't noticing in the first place. And why this works. When you stop tying your worth to appearances, you free yourself from event spending. Those little splurges, $40 manicures, $60 pillows, $75 dresses, they add up fast. And for what? Nobody remembers them. So before buying something new, ask, will anyone besides me notice or even care? The answer is always no. Here's my favorite habit. I now choose experiences over gifts. So this we started as a family a while ago. We no longer buy piles of gifts for Christmas or even birthdays. I get it, my kids are in their 20s now, but even if you have a family with younger kids, you can adapt this one too. Instead of spending thousands of dollars on stuff that literally gets forgotten or shoved into a closet, we've shifted to spending on experiences, things that we're going to actually remember forever. Here's the shift. So I used to spend literally $3,000 every single Christmas between gifts, wrapping, food, and all of the extras. The pressure to buy more each year was exhausting. Now we've simplified. We do a secret Santa so everyone still has something to open, plus a fun white elephant gift exchange that keeps the laughter going. It is such a blast. Then, instead of more shopping, we pull the money together that we would have spent and we use it for a family trip. We did a family trip last year to St. Lucia. It was absolutely spectacular. It was a memory that we will always have for the rest of our lives. So why this works? Studies show experiences bring more lasting happiness than things. Gifts can be fun in the moment for sure, but shared memories create connection that lasts. Plus, the money we once spent on stuff is now buying us time together. Okay, curate a smart money feed. This is a good habit to break or to actually do. So what do I mean by this? So think about it. When you're scrolling on social media, the algorithm loads your feed with similar content. And if you're constantly clicking on influencers pushing products and cute outfits, you're more apt to spend money. I would unfollow accounts that triggered spending and replace them with those that actually motivated me to invest, save, and just think critically. Let's face it, social media influences spending. We're constantly exposed to luxury content, which naturally increases our likelihood of impulse purchases. Following financial educators instead helps normalize saving and investment. Next, invest in yourself before anything else. One of the best money habits I've developed isn't about cutting back. It's about leveling up. For years, I thought investing only meant putting money into the stock market or my savings accounts. But then I realized the most valuable investment I could make was in myself. Here's the shift. Instead of hesitating to spend money on courses, workshops, or tools that could make me smarter or better at my job, I started seeing them as an asset. Something that actually pays me back over and over. I've taken classes to sharpen my skills. I bought books that expanded my thinking and even invested in better equipment for my work. like good lighting, good microphones. Every single one of those investments has come back to me in the form of higher income, new opportunities, and just greater efficiency. At the end of the day, the market can go up and down. We know that, right? But the knowledge and skills you put into yourself, nobody can take those away. Finally, say no more often. This was one of the hardest habits for me to build as a mom, but it's also one of the most powerful. For years, I said yes to everything my kids asked for, within reason. To be on my phone plan, insurance, Uber rides, you name it. Why? Because as parents, we want to make life easier for our kids. We want them to be happy. We want to please them. But all those yeses were costing me thousands of dollars every single year. Saying no isn't about being mean or stingy. It's honestly about teaching independence. And in the end, it helps both sides. You save money and your kids grow into financially capable adults. So here's the big takeaway from all of this. It wasn't some massive life overhaul that changed everything for me. It was literally stacking these little tiny habits, one on top of the other, until suddenly I realized I was keeping more money, investing more confidently, and living with less stress. And that's what I want you to hear. You don't need to wait for a raise, a windfall, or a perfect time to start. You can literally begin today with just one small change. Maybe it's tracking your spending for a week. Maybe it's cooking dinner at home instead of ordering in. Maybe it's just shutting the TV off an hour earlier and feeding your brain with something that will pay you back. Start with one, then add another. Before you know it, you're going to look back just like I did and realize those little micro habits created a macro change in your life. If this video gave you even one idea you're ready to try, hit that subscribe button and join me here every single week, because the more you know, the richer you grow. I'll see you next time.